offered these. And so that's the challenge that goes out. So again, make a special note in your diary this coming Saturday, 6 o'clock, Cabbage Beach. I look forward to all of you. Return Mike, we want you to come and join us as well on Saturday, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Where's the meeting spot? Where's the gathering spot?
Cabbage Beach.
Right, Cabbage Beach?
Cabbage Beach. At the restaurant. Yes, we're going to start at the restaurant. I'll get the exact route, but I think it's about 3 miles. Huh? Yeah, Cabbage. You'll see the signs. So we're going to have the big Rotary Nassau Club signs up front for you to see. So we're looking forward, of course, to our guests. You more than I tell you, eat that chicken Caesar salad just so you can be fit to join us on Saturday, 6 o'clock in the morning. Leo is going to come and join us as well, Leo. Amen. Praise the Lord. So we're looking forward to everybody joining us this coming plenty makeup. And I'm sure you could beat Fast West and Jamal on 3 miles. You know, that's very easy to do. So we're looking forward to your participation as well. All right. Thank you so much. In terms of announcements, any updates, Francina?
No, that's a few mentioned that.
Okay, good. Where's Kino? Let's welcome Kino now, membership chair, to come with his announcements of birthdays, anniversaries.
Thank you very much, Darren. Appreciate it. We have 2 persons we're going to be celebrating today. Actually, our Rotarian in our satellite club in Cat Island. I don't know if she's on. Hopefully, Lorinda Armstrong. If Lorinda is on, I want to say to her happy birthday. And of course, she's celebrating on the 3rd. That's actually today. So if you have not sent a happy birthday on the chat, please do. We want to make sure that our friends in Cat Island also feel very, very special. I think I'm getting some feedback, so you might just want to just mute your phone. Also, for persons, we have Sonia Miller is celebrating 13 years. Sonia Miller today is celebrating 13 years, a part of RCN. Come on, give Sonia a round of applause. The great Reverend Sam Bodle, I was about to wish you happy birthday, but I would be preempting my birthday for you for next week. So I'll leave that for next week. You have to show up next week. All right, you have to show up next week. So we'll celebrate you next week in the will of the Lord. And one other thing I want to say that several years ago, there was a commercial asking, do you know where your child is? You remember that? Do you know where your child is?
Right.
So my question is, do you know where your buddy is today? Where is your buddy? I already spoke to my buddy Deidre. How you doing? She wasn't feeling well today. So I got a chance to touch base with her. Joan, where's your buddy?
No idea.
Where's Sheila?
Where's your buddy? Dottie Ray, where's your buddy? Where's your buddy? Who else? Doc, where's your buddy? Doc? Doc, you giving out money over there. Larry, where's your buddy? We need to know where our buddies are. It makes Jamie, how you doing? Good to see you. It is so very important, and that's why we have the buddy program. One of the great things is we check in with each other just to make sure everyone is doing well. All right. I see Wayne already asked his buddy today.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can check on her to see how she's doing.
Yes, yeah, man, Sheila's be all the time. Oh God, no.
Francina, where's your buddy?
I have no clue.
So as of today, I'm saying to you, make sure we know where our buddy is, because that's how we remain accountable, and that's how we make sure we take care of each other. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
My buddy is Alvin from Written Science, by the way. I gotta try to make contact with him. I can get something done actually. All right, thank you, membership chair, Kino, and President Darren at a senior moment. All right, where we at? Introduction of guest speaker.
Show them. Show them. Not only.
Okay, so I guess that's Leo gonna ask you to introduce I said, yeah, Leo, I think this is the most fitting for you to introduce our speaker today. Leo's a member of our club. He's a member, yeah. This is a member, but he's a member. Come Leo, you
Welcome.
Oh, good. Yes, before we get Leo up, we're back online. We have everyone back online. Good to have you all with us. And as we said earlier, any visiting Rotarians with us, we do welcome you. Any non-Rotarian guests, we also welcome you as well. Good to have you all with us today. We hope that you have a wonderful time with us as it is for us to have you. Leo, please come and introduce our guest speaker for the day. That's Leo, right? I mean, I'm not sure whether Leo is up to date and everything.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Police Bethel considers it a privilege and to inspire and challenge entrepreneurs, drive a variety of industries across the Bahamas. She joined the Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center as a consultant in October 2018 and currently serves as the Deputy Executive Director. In previous roles, he served as an internal auditor for Hospital Corporation of America, a healthcare provider owning 186 hospitals in America and the United Kingdom, and as a consolidation accountant for Lentech Securities AG, a Swiss company offering structured financial products in 10 countries. Ladies and gentlemen, our DED, my boss, Police Bethel.
Thank you and good afternoon, Rotary Club of Nassau.
Good afternoon.
I am honored to represent the Small Business Development Center and delighted to join you as you kick off the month of October, focusing on economic community and development. In keeping with this theme, I want us to explore for a few minutes the topic from green businesses to green communities. In September 2019, I'm sure you remember, the Bahamas experienced the result of climate change and global warming in the form of Category 5 Hurricane Dorian. According to the Inter-American Development Bank, Dorian caused about $3.4 billion in damages, which is equal to 1/4 of our gross domestic product. Businesses were lost, jobs were lost, communities were lost, but more importantly, lives were lost. A year before Hurricane Dorian, in September 2018, the Small Business Development Center was established to support the evolution of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. The way we define an MSME, any business that generates less than $5 million annually and employs less than 50 people. How we support MSMEs is by giving entrepreneurs access to training, mentorship, networking, and funding opportunities. Next. Whether through social media or because of our bi-monthly feature on Morning Blend, you might be aware that the SBDC has executed many funding programs over the past 5 years, which to date has helped 2,126 MSMEs to access $81,549,400.03 in grant, loan, and equity funding. 51% of these 2,126 MSMEs are owned by women because we care about gender equality. And 47% of these 2,126 MSMEs are based in the Family Islands because our organization is not Nassau-centric. When we proudly shared these statistics with another group last week, someone in the audience seemingly got the impression that this nonprofit government subsidized organization is doing too much. And she bluntly asked the question, what's in it for the SBDC? In other words, it's great. The SBDC is helping a record number of Bahamians to write their business plans, to compile their financial projections, as well as to start and grow their business across the Bahamas. But what does the SBDC get in return? We are not asking for a pat on the back or applause because it is genuinely our honor and privilege to be a contributor of economic and community development. As the SBDC connects with more communities, organizations, and esteemed Rotarians, we hope people will come to realize that our training, mentorship, networking, and funding programs are all designed to address serious problems like climate change, export barriers, gender inequality, youth unemployment, food insecurity, and so on. These are serious problems that get in the way of economic and community development. Under our flagship funding program called the Guaranteed Loan Program, we launched 2 initiatives this year to specifically address climate change, global warming, and catastrophic hurricanes. As part of our renewable energy initiative, we are informing entrepreneurs like some of you that renewable energy produces 0 greenhouse gas emissions that contribute to climate change, global warming, and catastrophic hurricanes. We are also informing entrepreneurs that it is important to become energy efficient before they invest in renewable energy, and there's a simple explanation. Renewable energy does not reduce your energy consumption, but it can potentially result in cost savings because your solar panels are providing energy that would have otherwise been purchased from BPL. Energy efficiency, on the other hand, only occurs when you reduce your energy consumption and reduce your energy costs. Energy efficiency is not only achieved by installing energy efficient products such as LED lighting and building insulation. A business must also operate their energy consuming systems efficiently. For example, LED lighting should be turned off when it's not in use. And once a business becomes energy efficient, it will decrease your investment in renewable energy. In other words, a business that is not energy efficient will need to invest more in renewable energy to achieve the same desired level of cost savings. Besides empowering entrepreneurs with information, the SBDC is currently inviting entrepreneurs across the Bahamas to apply for a free energy audit conducted by the only certified energy auditor in the country. An energy audit serves as a crucial diagnostic tool for any business. Specifically, an energy audit performs an in-depth analysis of energy consumption patterns, identifies areas of wastage, and offers tailored recommendations for energy efficiency improvements, and in many, but not all cases, for a renewable energy system. Next slide. Last week, we spent 3 days in Eleuthera executing an electric vehicle road show from north to south and launching our electric mobility initiative. I'm sure you already see the connection between our renewable energy initiative and our electric mobility initiative. For example, you can use your solar panels to charge the batteries for your electric cars. The objective of our electric mobility initiative is to inform entrepreneurs that by 2030, 60% of vehicles sold around the world will be electric. This means if you purchase a gasoline vehicle today, it may be difficult to find and costly to purchase parts for maintenance purposes. We are also informing entrepreneurs how electric vehicles will reduce their carbon footprint, reduce their monthly expenses, and both will help their business to become more profitable and sustainable. To achieve this objective, it was important for the SBDC to partner with Easy Car Sales because they are the electric vehicle experts and they're willing to answer all the technical questions entrepreneurs are asking. And the reason we launched our electric mobility initiative in Eleuthera is because the island is 110 miles long. So many entrepreneurs drive long distances to deliver products and services to their clients. For example, we met one entrepreneur in Town who told us he spends between $800 to $1,000 a month on fuel. Not only will an electric vehicle empower this entrepreneur to reduce his carbon footprint and eliminate monthly fuel expenses, but his business can also save significantly on maintenance expenses. Electric vehicles do not have an engine, radiator, or muffler that can malfunction due to wear and tear. Okay. So we are now inviting entrepreneurs across the Bahamas to participate in our electric mobility initiative. The first step is to take our electric vehicle survey to tell us what you perceive to be the advantages and disadvantages of switching from a gasoline vehicle to an electric vehicle. The second step is to attend one of our virtual training or information sessions, which will be tentatively on October 16th and 18th for 1 hour starting at 6:30 p.m. In these sessions, our Easy Car sales partners will dispel common myths about electric vehicles. Also, my colleagues like Leo will explain how your business can access $20,000 in grant funding towards the purchase of an electric vehicle. And if the total cost of the vehicle is $40,000, then your business can apply for $20,000 in loan funding. And the government of the Bahamas will co-sign as your guarantor, backing between 75 to 90% of the loan principal amount. Then the third step is to simply submit an online application for funding. And funding is available up to $500,000, $1 million in special cases. And one funding application can cover a multitude of things: company vehicles, production and office equipment, leasehold improvements, incorporation fees, intellectual property protection, licenses and permits, financial accounting software, website development and maintenance, brand collaterals and marketing campaign, insurance coverage, security deposits, inventory supplies, and packaging. I hope that I have shed some light on a transformative and imperative shift in the business landscape, the transition from green businesses to green communities. I also hope that you, entrepreneurs, executives, Rotarians, citizens, are reminded that we have the power and the obligation to make sustainable choices that not only benefit our planet, but also contributes to the financial health of our businesses, communities, and our economy. I understand that change can be challenging. It might require significant upfront investments and a shift in mindset. But every journey begins with a single step, and the returns, both for our businesses and communities, are immeasurable. So let us seize the opportunity. Let us lead the charge. Let us create a legacy of responsibility, innovation, and commitment to a cleaner and brighter future for all and for many generations to come. Thank you.
You have any questions? From Ms. Bell, Dottie? Vice President Dottie?
So when we launched our renewable energy initiative, we launched it in partnership with Bahamas Power and Light and with Grand Bahama Power Company. And so this is where we're partnering with them in order to have the free energy audits done. And so what happens is that an auditor will come to your business, check out all of your systems and see if there's any wastage. And then they will give you the recommendations in terms of energy efficiency. And then if you need a renewable energy system, that is the partnership that we currently have with Bahamas Power and Light and Grand Bahama Power Company. In the latter case, in GBPC's case, They've also given us grant funding to help educate business owners and citizens how to be more energy efficient. Not that I'm aware, but I can follow up. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Sorry. Now, in terms of the duty structure, one accomplishment has come about with electric vehicles. The duty is 10% as opposed to 65%. And they're looking to lower the duty rate on electric vehicles even more. Okay, so the energy audits right now are focused on businesses that have a small commercial facility. Because if you have a residential account, you're already paying a lower rate per kilowatt usage than a small commercial account. And then a small commercial account is also paying a higher rate per kilowatt hours, because large commercial accounts, the thinking is that they consume more energy, and so their rate per kilowatt is lower. So our first focus is on the small commercial accounts. But you can still apply for funding through the SBDC. If you wanted to cover the cost of the energy audit, that can be covered through the grant and loan funding, as well as if you wanted to install solar panels. Once you can show that installing these panels is going to reduce your business operating expenses, and that's going to allow you perhaps to charge more affordable pricing to your customers, then you can win that argument. Yeah.
What was the percentage?
So according to an international report, by 2030, 60% of cars will be electric sold around the world. And what governments are doing around the world to bring that change about is they're giving a lot of concessions in terms of raw materials cost. And so now they're bringing the price of an electric vehicle more in line with the cost of a gasoline vehicle. As well, there's been a lot of technological advancements so that the battery for your electric car can last the lifespan of the car, because before people were concerned about replacing their batteries. And so there's a lot of different things that the government is doing. And like I said earlier, our import rate is now 10% to bring in electric vehicles. So that is further encouragement for people to adopt these practices.
The minimum cost expected on here.
40,000.
Can you imagine 7 years? How many, what percentage of the payments been supported by a $40,000 car? It won't be 40,000 7 years from now. More. The duty rate can't go down anymore.
Right, but like I said, through the SBDC, if you're a business owner, you can actually access grant funding to cover half, let's say $40,000. You can access 20,000 in grant funding through our program. And so then that means you only have to cover the additional cost of the 20,000 in a guaranteed loan.
You know, consider individuals, they just don't have that borrowing capacity. This whole thing, to me, is buying a stock. Wait and see.
Well, I can tell you this, a lot of, based on Easy Car Sales, their report, 60% of their customers are commercial and government. And the transition is happening. Preston, I don't know if you remember the number of electric vehicles that are currently in Nassau.
Most of the ministries all have
The governor of the central bank.
There also had one as well, but he's swapping out the BMW electric. Dive into that in 2027 years from now. How will we be able to have that transition? You mentioned one. And companies that have sell vehicles. So what's going to happen in order to move away from that?
So we're not directly encouraging. What we're saying is, this is the change that's coming. Either you pivot or you die, right? That I'm just saying that. So if you have a case where the rest of the world is converting to electric vehicles, we don't manufacture cars in the Bahamas. So it automatically means that if what's available electric vehicles, then car dealers are automatically going to have to switch in that direction. Also, as electric vehicles become more popular, then you're going to have a greater amount of supply. And so when you have that demand and supply being adjusted, then what may cost $40,000 today may cost $30,000 or $20,000 in 7 or 10 years. In fact, I know of someone who's looking to get in the electric vehicle space. And because Easy Car Sales, they're considering them to be a competitor selling at a certain price point between 40 and 60. Their objective is going to China and finding vehicles that cost less. So now they are going to target more of residential customers. And so you have a lot of people now considering entering this space. Easy Car Sales is also working with the Ministry of Finance to create a charging station network. And so that will make charging more available. There are going to be some free charging stations, which means that you can fully charge your vehicle in 15 or 30 minutes while you're in the grocery shop. They're also creating opportunities for business owners who, let's say you operate a cafe and you want to have a charging station on your facility because it's going to attract customers who have electric vehicles. When they come and charge their cars, they're going to end up spending more time in your business and spending more money. And also the business owner is going to share in whatever sales that charging station generates. They're going to share that with Easy Car Sales, who's installing the infrastructure. So there's a lot of new opportunities that's going to become available. And our responsibility is simply to help Bahamian entrepreneurs not to be 10 steps behind the rest of the world. We're telling you whether or not you're ready to take the leap or not. We're simply saying, consider it.
Or being very proactive and moving the step because again, what is moving the next step? So my last question is, does everybody in the SBD because you have to leave by the time.
For sure.
You mentioned that there's one company that has been authorized by the government or SBDC.
No, I'm not saying that they're authorized. I know that they're having conversations with the Ministry of Finance. And
is it something that you could forward up who that is?
No, I don't want to put them out there like that. But what I would say in terms of how many employees at SBDC drive an electric vehicle, currently none of us. And let me explain. No. I'm being honest, right? So as I said before, we were not the experts of electric vehicles. When we launched this initiative, it started off with us literally walking down the street to Easy Car Sales and asking them to explain the benefits of driving an electric vehicle. All of the concerns and questions that you have were the questions that we asked them. And so as I indicated to the owner of the company, I said, I'm planning to change my car in December. That was a decision I made from the beginning of the year. And so now that I'm aware of the benefits of an electric vehicle, whereas I might have been looking at a different type of car, now I'm definitely going to purchase an electric vehicle. And the plan is, we haven't actually had this conversation, but the plan is, how do we create a program or incentive for our employees who want to convert to electric vehicles? So there are lots of steps. This is a new relationship. It's a new initiative, and all of our initiatives are for a 3-year period. So what the initiative looks and sounds like today, you will see an evolution over the next 3 years.
Question for you. In your consideration as to the criteria for your employees, may I suggest that Leo and other members come to a Rotary meeting, and that qualifies them?
For some special incentive.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
What is the process in terms of the grant funding?
Okay, so in order to access the grant for an electric vehicle, currently, you can access it through the guaranteed loan program, which means that if you need $40,000 for the vehicle, the grant has to be matched by the guaranteed loan, right? But we are considering, because we've done other standalone grants earlier in the year, we're currently considering, based on the appetite, and this is why it's important to complete the survey. If we have a large appetite for the electric vehicles, then that gives us an argument to say, then there should be a standalone grant program that allows people to get $10,000 towards the purchase of the vehicle, and they could decide whether or not they want to borrow the remaining 30, or they have the cash. They're just, able to use that to purchase the car. So the step is we have an online application form. So I believe Preston has those that will take you directly to the form. And so typically when it's a guaranteed loan application, we ask that you provide us with a business license. So if you're not licensed to do business, then you're not our customer, right? And even if you've maybe submitted your application for business license, we will accept that notification email that says your application is being processed. But definitely right before any disbursements happen, you have to have the actual license in hand. We also require you to have KYC documents. So passport photo, driver's license, voter's card, utility bill. And then if your business is incorporated, we will ask for, your corporate documents like your directors and shareholders register, articles of incorporation, certificate of incorporation. The only challenging requirement sometimes is when we ask for a business plan. So typically, and this helps to dispel the notion that the SBDC gives away free money. No, we don't.
You get a business plan for the car loan?
We need to know, because think of this now, this is not a personal loan, this is a business loan. And we want you to simply have a business plan, even outside of purchasing a vehicle, right? We have some entrepreneurs who can tell you that they are making $1,000 in profit a month, right? So we want to know that if you're going to take on the loan of purchasing a car, that you know what your financials look like. You have a plan for this business. You know how this business is going to grow over the next 2 or 3 years. You know how having electric vehicles is going to help you change your branding and marketing strategy, because customers like businesses that care about the environment, that care about social impact. So we want, and the business plan doesn't have to be longer than 20 pages. We have writers who will write the plan along with you. So you're not required to know what the plan has to say, but still we want to get entrepreneurs in the practice of having a plan, regardless of whether you just buy a vehicle. The point is, how are you operating this business currently and how you can take it to the next level? So it's not a Band-Aid type service.
And then in regards to the solar panels, back to your last question.
could generally apply to a business that has a standalone building, because a tenant can't qualify.
We have a business that was approved for funding. He's a tenant and he simply got permission from his landlord to install the panels. From the landlord's point of view, if this tenant decides he's gonna up and leave, he has solar panels, right? As well, it's more of a marketing strategy for a landlord. Let's say if that space becomes available in the future, they can say, hey, you can pay X amount on rent and you will save X amount on electricity. So we have not encountered situations where landlords have been resistant to their tenants implementing or installing solar panels. The only challenge that came about once was that there could be a metering issue that's driving up the tenant's electricity bill, and that's something that needs to be addressed before you're looking at a renewable energy system. So in that case, the auditor's recommendation was get BPL in here to see what's going out of whack with your meter, why your electricity is so high. Once that's addressed, then we can proceed.
All right, thank you, Ms. Bethel. Invite our incoming press.
Thank you.
Just before you go, we're gonna invite our incoming president to say thank you.
Oh, I want to just say thank you so much, Ms. Bethel. What a pleasant use. Now you've made all of us start to think. Next purchase of the vehicle, we can't go gas, because you say in another few years, think about it, you can't buy parts, and that's correct. You can't buy parts. But I must commend the government for moving proactively in this regard. If you notice, a number of government departments all have electric vehicles. A number of government departments have electric vehicles. I was just amazed at it. And this is where the world going. I mean, I said, change is difficult, but you have to change. But I'll think, just one question before I officially to my duties. Yeah, you're on Iluto, and you did a test run. From one end to the next, how much time did the battery run up?
Now, let me say this. The night before the charge was I was frolicking.
They run the battery.
Want to make sure that.
I was just gonna say, Felix, what you next?
It works.
It works.
It surely does work.
So I can ride from one end of Iluto to the next end.
So it's twice actually.
You can't get back.
Well, yeah.
The cars have a range of between 250 miles to 400.
For charging? Yes.
Yes.
That's only 21 miles.
Exactly, so we won't have the same issues as they have. In fact, some persons who own electric vehicles in Nassau only need to charge once per week.
But I think you need to say that, that's a good selling point.
So as I was explaining, the driving range for electric vehicles ranges from 250 to 400 plus miles. So if you're looking at an island like New Providence, that's much smaller than Eleuthera, we know of people who are only charging their vehicles once per week. So just one quick to answer. So when you purchase an electric vehicle currently from Easy Car Sales, it comes with a free charging station. So you can install that station either at your residence or at your business, and you can charge. Now, when it comes to these free charging stations that are going to be super fast, so you need to quickly charge in 15 minutes, then you're going to have to pay, what is it, about
$1. $1 a minute. You get up to then charge in 20 to 30.
There are free charging stations, but like I said, for the super fast charging stations, then you will have to pay a nominal fee.
but when they saw it out for batteries were actually exploded. And our road, the people noticed when it but so we driving an electric car to all of that water. Paying for the car, for the car, it's the body. If we move it towards, like you said, electric, we also consider that infrastructure. We don't have the types of things. I mean, if it rains yesterday, it was flooded in the area where I had to drive to work in about 15 minutes. So imagine what do you do in the event of a hurricane? What do you do in the event of a tropical storm?
Okay. So the thing is, as I said earlier, we are not electric vehicle experts. However, we've been in the room a number of times to be able to attempt to answer your question. So I don't own an electric vehicle, but based on someone who does, they said that they drive their electric vehicle through water, and they said, okay, we just had all that torrential rain, all the flooding the other day. I drove the vehicle through the flood. There were no issues. At a town hall meeting in Eleuthera, the question about, well, what happens in a hurricane? What happens in that instance? And so the same way you would prepare for a hurricane by going to the food store, getting your canned goods, you charge the vehicle. Remember, the vehicle can last for 250 to 400 miles fully charged. I don't imagine that during a hurricane, you're going to be driving anywhere, right? So if you fully charge before the hurricane comes, then once the hurricane passes, you're fully charged to use the car.
Scenario that I'm thinking about. When a hurricane. I wanted to buy it.
Okay. So you know what? Are you going to attend one of our information sessions? Because that will be an opportunity for you to ask directly to Easy Car Sales, because they would have a wide range of customers, I'm sure, who would have given them feedback since the 10 plus years they've been in business. And so they would be able to speak from experience how their customers are able to mitigate these issues.
Excuse me, you want to come your people online?
Sure, I can speak a little louder. It's good in the back of the room.
People on the.
Good afternoon, everybody. Just to see the discussion in terms of riding through water or torrential rain. One of the questions came up while we were doing our town hall in Eleuthera. A lot of the problems with the gas vehicles is that the water was entering the engines. The electric vehicles don't have engines. And most times when the battery is placed underneath, it's placed with security of doing so. That's how come some of the electric vehicle owners didn't see any problems with driving through water, didn't face any of those challenges as we would in gas vehicles. They don't have the same parts in terms of the on the hood, or in terms of the transmission, engineering. So those things are what we're used to in terms of driving gas vehicles that would get damaged in water. They don't get, the electric vehicles don't have them. So they're able to be a bit more accessible through the water as well when they're driving through.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem.
Stay the night. You may have to do it for the parking lot. Okay. The parking lot question afterwards.
Yes, come.
Yes.
Ms. Bethel. I sure wish Ms. Sheila Bethel was here. My buddy who drives an electric vehicle, she would be able to speak to it. And this is the only meeting she missed. Wow. But Ms. Bethel, such a timely information. I guess you have all of us thinking now. I guess rain will go and buy that electric car that he promised to buy. So on behalf of our President Darren, and all of us here at RCN, we want to thank you so much for wonderful.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
All right, great. So do we connect Ryan? I'm sure you connected some fines or raffles. We have account and a ticket. Yeah. Yeah, just do a quick count right.
Mhm. No, Tina, chocolate demand, yes. Me either.
Okay, so the raffle tickets out, the winning number is 488. Anyone has that? The kiddos can get me. And 843. Anyone, Mike, you want that? All right. Come up here, Mike, you gotta get behind you. All right.
I want Miss Bethel to know, I hope I'm wrong, okay?
Yes. That looks like money, Mike, you sure you don't need that, so I'm gonna hold
What
this
is
for
it?
you.
I'm happy to. We got any food that's here? Cause I don't drink, so. This
Yeah.
looks like liquid courage.
Yes.
But you know.
But do you want to do this next week?
Yeah, you wanna donate it back for next
For
week?
next week, perfect. There we go.
Awesome, right, give Mike a hand. Right there. All right. Thank you. Okay, so what's our count, raffle count, Ryan? I had a joke for you all, but we'll save it for next week because of the time constraints. All right, so come back. Come next week here.
You're telling us don't show up then.
Okay, raffle count is 50 bucks. Very good, very good. Now, we didn't impose any. Oh, fine, okay, we did get some fines. So some of you were truthful, you had some infractions. Leo, this fine bracket should be much heavier than this, man. You need to put at least $100 in there, man, you know? We'll get you though, we'll get you next time. All right, let us be upstanding. Say the 4-way test. And I will ask, Rotarian, Jody to lead us in a 4-way test. Is it the truth? Is it to all concerned? Beneficial to all concerned.
It'll be fun.
Yes, thank you. Hey. Okay, and past president, second time, Sam, can you say the Rotary toast for us, please? Remember, Sam?
Rotarian, yes, join me in the last toast. Rotary around the world.
Around the world. Right. Thank you all. We do have a parking lot, so hopefully Ms. Battle is available. Give the right. Okay, well, you know where she can locate us, is at the access center. Good, all right.
Also, we can walk sign up.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you all. All right. So, Rotarian, yes, have an awesome meet of you. All right.
Good to see you, my friend.
We're gonna take a picture. After.